Okay, thank you. So, all right. So we have seen files, file modes, and two methods: close and closed. Okay. The next thing is we will first mode is also seen. Mode is nothing but what mode the file has been opened in. Let's just say I already have defined a pointer, or let me define one now. So here, let me open file with open. I will type test file .txt. Mode, it could be any mode. Okay, let's just say append mode as if, and f dot, first I will write something, then I will append. Okay, now I will append to it f dot append. All right. Okay, one mode at a time. Okay, fine, no worries. So okay, append we will add. Okay, so what is the file name? Test file. So multiple times I executed, so multiple times it has been written. Okay, still fine. So this pointer that I have opened, so this pointer, for this point I will, if you want to check what mode the file was opened in. Okay, I'm audible. um okay, okay, so if you want to check what mode the file was opened in, that is when you can use mode. Okay, if you want to check what if the file is closed or not, then you can use closed that way. Now for the same pointer, if I type readable, okay, let me open the file. Okay, so if I check readable, it says it's a closed file. That's what I said. So when you use with, the file will be automatically closed, but the pointer exists. Okay, pointer will remain, but the file itself has been closed. So now let me open, for is equal to open of same file. I will open same file, everything would be same. Now that I have opened the file, okay, I want to check if this file is readable. Can, basically what readable is doing is, can I, basically I'm asking the interpreter, can you check this file, see if I can read this file. Okay, that is when you use readable. Is this clear? It will return true in that case. I have not yet closed the file. I can also check if the file is writable. Can I write to this file? Okay, that also comes back as true. So I can both read and write. Okay, let me close this file. Okay, now I will reopen the file, but I will reopen in read mode and check if I can write to this file. What happened? I have opened the file in read mode. I'm trying to ask the interpreter, can I write to this file? So it will say false because I have opened it in read mode. Now let me open it in, first let me close it. Okay, now let me open it in W mode. Okay, now I will check if it is writable. It is writable. Okay, now if I also check if it is readable, it is readable. You got it? What is meant by this readable and writable? Basically you are checking based on the mode the file has been opened. You are checking if I can go ahead and write something to this file, or if I can read from this file. Okay, that is what this readable and writable are. So mode visa, readable visa, read we anyway know already. Okay, write also we know, writable also visa. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Hmm. After you close the file again you'll have to open that file, no? See, if you close this file you have to open it. If you open that file you have to close it. Both the things should happen. If you open a file you have to close a file. If you close a file you have to open a file again to read it. Okay, let me do this. I have closed this file. Okay, var already exists. For I in var, this is what you're asking, I think. For I in var, print I. Okay, what happened? The file is closed, it says. You can't access the file because file is closed. In order to read from that file again, you'll have to open it. Okay, yeah. So again, if you open the file, see, I will again open the file, but this time I will not close it. Okay, I will I will close it after some time. Okay, but I will not close it immediately. I have opened the file. I can check if it is readable, writable, etc. I can append to the file, append file, just appending, or I will add a new line character and then append in the new line. Okay, just appending. Okay, okay, fine. Let me write instead. I can't append because my mode is different now. That's why. Okay, anyway, I will write just to demonstrate. So I wrote to the file. Okay, now I will check what is present in that file. Okay, let me open in this mode. Let me open in read mode. Okay, okay. So if you notice, I had opened it in W mode. That's why you know W mode, right? So it will destroy everything and recreate everything. That's the job of W mode. So that's what it did. But now I have opened it in W plus mode. As you can see, there is already value that whatever I added in the new line. Now you can, the point I'm trying to make is once you open a file in certain good mode, certain superior mode, you can go on to continuously do the operations whatever you want. Okay, and then you can finally close the file. Did you understand this? Okay, now let's just say, now here is the interesting thing about this. I have already added just appending. I will also open this file and separately to show you. What was the file name? Test file. See, there is one new line that I added /n. Then I added just appending, right? So after I added this is what my output looks like. But what if I want to add something? See, if I want to add something in the end, I know I can open the file in append mode. I can do add it. But after I open the file, what if I want to add something again from the beginning, right? So the catch here is the way how it is working is, okay, let me show you here. This is a file. Okay, this is your file. You added a new line character here, then you added just appending. Okay, now what is happening is there is always a pointer pointing at the beginning of the file when you create a file. Okay, as you added this, now the pointer is pointing here. Okay, this pointer has moved positions one by one, and it has reached the end last part of the file. Now if you try to add, you can't add something in the beginning because your pointer is here now. Okay, pointer is here, that we will see. Let's just say var dot read. Okay, see what is coming, empty string, which means it has reached the end of the string here. The pointer has already come here. There is nothing much to read after this. That's why it's giving you a empty string. Understood? Okay, now in order for me to make this pointer go back to the beginning here, I have some mechanism. Okay, some already methods are there called seek. Now I will say var dot seek. Seek means this. There is this beautiful device that used to come. Um, it's called a tape recorder, wherein which you had some volume adjusting mechanism by sliding up or down. Um, have you seen that? I'm not sure if you have seen. Yes, yes, yeah, even that used to have that. And also if you notice a VLC player, I'm not sure if I have VLC, but let me check. Okay, okay, no, now the mechanism has changed, but there used to be a VLC where you could simply select, or even for this VLC also, okay, not just VLC but any music player for that matter, if your pointer is here in the beginning, you will drag it, and that process of moving that pointer is nothing but seeking. You're seeking that pointer to wherever you want, okay, to play, to continue playing the movie or whatever. Okay, likewise, uh, there used to be a volume adjusting thing where you would simply slide that bar to adjust the volume. That was one. And on your old tape recorders also you had that same very mechanism where you could physically hold the button and move up or down to adjust bass or sorry, bass, they call it bass or bass, whatever, stereo or some adjust treble, so all those adjustments. So that if you apply that mechanism to files here, that is literally what you're doing in a software. You're taking this pointer, you're moving all the way up and bringing here. That is what seek is doing. Okay, if I give this seek as, take that seek to fifth position, I'm mentioning, uh, yeah, when s equals to 0, yeah, by default it is 0, but anyway I'm saying take me to the fifth index. Okay, and execute. Now the now the pointer is at fifth position. Now if I try to read, in the original file you had just appending. So first one was new line character, which was index 0. This is index 2, index 3, index 4, okay, and index 5. Okay, so that's why you see it's starting from fifth position in your file, which is your position T. Now if I again play around with this and I want to seek it, okay, in future, let's just say, okay, it's again back to the end now because it has printed everything, it has read, and it's at the end now. Now I want to seek it to 0. If I seek it to 0, it shows me the position of the index where it is, and if I want to read, I can again read. Now it again went back to 0, sorry, end of string. Okay, are you following me? Okay, now instead of reading, let me write a simple hello. Let me check the mode, what mode I have opened it in. Okay, W plus, fair enough. So hello I wrote. Now that hello, after writing that hello, it went back to fifth index because you have only 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 you have. Now it's pointing at the fifth position. Now again I will seek it so that I can read it from beginning, and after seeking it I will read everything. See what happened? Okay, hello it added in the end. Sorry. Hello it added in the end, but I seek it first? Ah, okay, I didn't seek it. Okay, after reading I directly wrote hello, right? So that's why it added here. Okay, let me seek it again. This time I want to write hello in the beginning. Let me seek it. Hello, I will add. And then after writing, I want to read again. Okay, it was in the end. Then we brought it to 0. Then we wrote it. Okay, let me check the file also. Okay, it added hello. Okay, see, you use by using seek you brought it to 0. Okay, then you wrote hello. After pointing at hello, now the pointer is at fifth position. After hello it is at fifth point. Okay, that is how much? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fifth index, which is your sixth letter. Fifth index means sixth letter. It is a T, that's why it has printed T. But if I seek it again, for each time you do the operation you have to seek it. Basically that's the point I'm trying to make, and also explain you what is the use of seek. If I read it now, I have hello in the beginning also. Is this clear? How to control the pointer by using seek? Okay, okay, now that it has reached at the end, I can check if it is seekable. I'm checking if I have a way to bring it to the beginning. Okay, it says true. Okay, now what I'll do is I will seek it. Now that it has told me to seek it, I will seek it. Now again I will check, can I seek it? It again says true. Why? Because you can also see seek the pointer into the future. Okay, every time I say seek, you just imagine that moving the adjusting the volume by moving the bar, you imagine that. So now I am checking, can I further seek it even though it is pointing in the beginning? It is still true, because you can also seek it in the future, or in the um, uh, succeeding characters, right? So that's why it gives me true. That is the use of seekable and seek. Are we clear with this? Okay, I will still not close the file, because I wanna check if I can do something more. Okay, now I will ask it to tell me something. Okay, what is it tell doing is, okay, let me seek it first. Okay, var dot seek of 10, go to the 10th position, that's what I'm saying. Okay, and then I'm asking, tell me something. Okay, what is it, that something, that is what I'm trying to explain. So I'm just asking it to tell. When I ask it to tell, it tells me where that pointer is pointing in the file object. Okay, now I will seek it again. I will seek to 20th position, um, and then ask it to read. Again, interesting part about read which I didn't tell is, I will ask it to read only 10 characters after that. Okay, that also you can pass in the read. Okay, after reading 10, okay, first I am moving. See, currently it is at the 10th position, I'm moving it to 20, then after that I'm reading 10, then that means it became 30, it is pointing at 30. Now I'm asking it to tell me where it is. You see what happened? So the pointer is at 30th position. This is the, now with this mechanism that you have, you have a way to read, you have a way to write, Now you have a way to also take the seeker to the beginning or the future, and you can also know where the seeker is pointing using tell. So all these mechanisms are available. Is this clear? Is tell clear? Now if I ask it to read again, it will read me from the 30th position only. It won't read from the beginning, because it is at pointing at the 30th position somewhere here. And now after reading, it went back to end. It reached again. If I want to read from the beginning again, I'll have to seek. Okay, now it's be at the beginning. Now I can play around. Okay, fine. The next thing here is, important thing is, okay, up until this point we have only read only one by one character. Okay, and we have written only one sentence. Okay, what if you want to do the same thing for multiple lines? Okay, and that is what we will see. We have something called read lines and write lines. Okay, now for this read lines and write line, okay, let me close this file. I will maybe show you. Okay, no, never mind. So I will use here only for, okay, it's in the beginning. First of all, let me read it. I will use the word line so that I can explain you better. For line in, not for line. First of all, let me see the content. Okay, I have two lines. For word, I will say for word in war, print word. This we already know. Here what is happening is, irrespective of what I use here, either I can use I or J or pointer, PT, whatever you like, you can use. It is the way how print works is, you know the for loop, right? You already know the for loop. For loop iterates over a sequence letter by letter. Okay, so here that is also, that is what is happening here. Even though we can't see it with our eyes, we it immediately prints everything, right? But that is not how it is working. It is going letter by letter only. Okay, it goes letter by letter. First it, see the way how it works is, first I is pointing to H, and H, and prints that H, and then it points at E, then it prints C. That way it is happening. But because our CPUs are like they perform billions of transactions, billions of they have clock cycle, right, in billions, so billions of instructions per second, so everything is happening in a split second, we can't see. Okay, but if you had a old monitor, old CRT monitor, and if you were in like 1995 or 19 or 2000 maybe, you could have seen this written in a slower process. Okay, that is what, that is how far is working here. I'm just trying to explain you how this works, so that I can explain you how read lines and read works. Okay, so that is what happens here. The same thing happens with read also. When you read, as you can, you as we already saw, read will read letter by letter. Okay, letter by letter only. But if you wanted to read whole sentence in one go, everything that is there up until you reach this, there is a hidden slash n here, even though you can't see it. That's why it's called as unprintable characters, right? That's what we saw in the strings. When we studied strings, there was a method called is printable. Slash n was not printable because it's hidden. Even though you can't see it, it is there. That's why it's gone to the input, has gone to the next line. Okay, because of that slash n. Now the how read line works is, up until it encounters this slash n, it will take this entire thing in one go and print it. Okay, or if you wanna print one sentence at a time, then also you can make use of this read line. That is what I will do now. First let me close and reopen this file. Okay, I have closed this. I want to open the files going forward with open only, because that way I don't have to close and remember. Okay, I will open what was the file name, test file dot txt. Now I will open it in a very simple mode only, R mode. Okay, as fp file pointer, or you can use f, it doesn't matter. I want to print fp dot read line. Okay, what happened? It read the complete line in one go. If I want to see, because I used with open, it automatically got closed. Okay, I can't access that file again. But if I wanted to, I can show you that also. The Okay, it got closed, the file is closed, that's why you're getting error. But if I wanted to access it again, let me open the file again. This time I will print second line also by making it print the second line. See what is happening? That is the difference between read and read line. Understood? If I say fp dot read here, and I can also, I have a method option to also specify how much to read, that also is there. But if I only pass a read, it will read everything, but it is reading letter by letter. Okay, that you have to remember. That is the difference between read and read line. Is this clear? Yes. Are you following me? Okay. Now I read only one here. Okay, let me reopen. Here it automatically got closed. Again I'll use this. Here I read only one line at a time. If let's just say there are 1,000 lines, I can't write 1,000 times this read line, right? So that's why, to make it easy, they have made it something called read lines. Okay, if you read lines, notice it is able to read line, and you see this is what I was talking about, the hidden character. Okay, every time you see a something in the next line, understand that there is something called slash n there. Even though it does, we can't see it, it is there. Okay, anyway, so read lines is for reading everything. And when you use read lines, as you can notice, everything is read as a part of list. Important distinction. Okay, remember this. Okay, all right, is this clear? Read line and read lines. Okay, likewise we also have write lines. Now I have to open the file. Okay, let me just deliberately create that error. I'm reading, but I have given the mode as R. I'm trying to write, it won't work. Okay, even if I say take one, even if I give some argument what to write, okay, I will simply pass, it will say not writable. Okay, that's why these modes are very important, so remember modes very well. Okay, so if I pass write lines, okay, now let's close this file, refresh, uh, test file open. So it has what to write. Okay, all right, so it's returning some none value, but don't worry about it for now, just understand. Okay, let me remove this. I want to just write lines again. Okay, this, let me close this, refresh and open. So you have what to write. If you wanted append, I have written, and then I will add a slash n before. I have appended. Okay, let me refresh and open. So you have, I have written. So you notice one more thing here. For append plus also you have write only, write or write line or write lines. All right, and for write also you have write only. If you pass here w, w plus a plus, you will still use write only here. Write line, write lines, that's what you will use. You will not, you can use read also for reading. Okay, that is different thing. But For append there is nothing called append lines. That's what I'm trying to say. There is nothing called, if you notice, there is nothing called append lines. Is this clear about read lines and write lines? Okay, all right. Now tell is also done. Okay, so let's just say truncate we will see. Okay, truncate, we will use truncate when you want to okay, even before truncate. uh, okay, first let me check if there is a way to for me to check the size. Let me open this file, fp dot. Now there is no keyword called size, but uh, mm, 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 truncate. Okay, fp dot truncate. Now truncate is used to reduce the file size. Okay, to reduce the file to certain bytes. Okay, how much you want to truncate, that you can specify. For example, in this file, let's just say I want to have till half. I want to return the remove the whatever return word or have word, whatever. I'll just take a guess and specify position as, either you can write pass equal to, or you can directly pass the value. Okay, let's just say 20. Okay, I have truncated the file, opened the file in append mode, but I have truncated it. And if I close, refresh and check, you see what happened? Whatever was there got truncated, it got deleted. Okay, that is what truncate is used for. Is this clear with truncate? You want to reduce something or you want to delete something, so that is when you use truncate. Understood? Okay, all right. So let's just say when you maybe Swapnil and okay, yeah, most of you might be aware already that when you work on a file and if it's a streaming file, let's just say it's a streaming file which is continuously receiving the data. Okay, uh, okay, let's just say it's a continuously receiving the streams of text or receiving the streams of bytes or binary data. Okay, if you want to check if that is the case, if you want to check if a file has a stream, if an interactive stream, okay, that is when you use this isAT method. When you use isAT, it says if a file has, okay, interactive stream or not. Is this clear? If this file was continuous, now it's not receiving, right? If it's continuously receiving while I'm accessing it, so that is when it will give me true. Is this clear? Okay, next is flush. I will work on the same file. I will open this file. Okay, so flush is if there is any write buffer. Okay, let me first flush it. I don't think anything, I am not expecting any new output, but let's see. Okay, no new output. Flush means, okay, any if the file is receiving the stream, there is something called buffer. Okay, buffer is nothing but your cache, right? So in the cache some input is already received. Okay, if you want to flush that, that is when you use the flush. And buffer is when you want to check what buffer has been received. Here I don't think it will give you any output even if I give you, let me do a print, because it's not receiving any. any streams, right? We are not working on an interactive file, it's a static file. So there is nothing called uh, okay, buffer object is there, but there is no buffer because it's not receiving any input from anywhere. So this buffer, okay, this flush. So buffer means it will show you what has been received. Flush means it will help you delete that what has been received. Is this clear? Okay, all right. The next thing is detach. Let's check detach. So in detach, whatever the buffer, so all these methods are working with buffers. Okay, whatever the buffer has been received, if you want to return it, okay, return it as in if you notice, this is what it is. I have never used detach, honestly speaking, but as per the documentation I'm explaining you. So whatever the buffer has been received, right? So some buffer would be there, that buffer is returned, okay, matlab printed, and that buffer, if it is in unusable state, okay, that is when it is detached. If the buffer is not being used, okay, that is when it can be detached. I don't think we'll get any different output here, but like I said, okay, underlying buffer has been detached, but there is no buffer there to detach, honestly speaking. um, if you notice, refresh, open the file, it is what it has. There is no stream of data coming into this file. Let's just say every second something was being written like this, okay, sorry, something was being written, okay, continuously. So this is called streaming. Something is coming into the file. Now that buffer, the when you access the file, let's just say you access the file this at line 44, okay, you access the file at line 44, pointer has noted that pointer is still pointing to 0, but it has taken only the details up until 44 only. But after you access it, it again started receiving. It is in continuous streaming mode. Whatever it received from 45 to up until this point is called buffer. That is what I have been trying to say. And if you want to delete or print or return those buffer, that is why you have all these methods: buffer, detach, and then you have flush, line buffering, okay, all these methods are there for that only. Is this clear? And file number also same way. File number also will return you, okay, uh, so it is returning the number of streams coming in, okay, from an operating point of view. uh, let's see what exactly that is. It returns the underlying file descriptor, okay. File descriptor is same as our FP here. OS error is raised if IO object does not use a file descriptor. Okay, so this I will clarify. Okay, because I have never used this file number. All these are new methods introduced. So I will explain you this in detail because I want to understand what do they mean when they say from OS point of view. That point I want to understand. But file descriptor is nothing but your file pointer. So don't worry much about that. Okay. So all these methods are there to handle the buffers, and this name we will see, and new lines we will see. New line is interesting. Okay. Let's just say fp dot new lines. Okay. There are no new lines added to the file. That's what it means. Here I have not. Okay. Let me save it now. Closed it. Let me open. Okay, fine, no new lines are being added, okay. I will check exactly what it means. New line, new lines. Okay, fine. I'll check and let you know what exactly this new line does. My understanding is it must be adding, it must be taking the input to next line is what I think it is, but I will get back to you. But anyway, so all these methods are very least used. Okay, whatever we saw up until above are the most used methods. Okay, up until, if you have understood up until this point, it's more than sufficient for your data science work. Okay, so this is extremely important. Working with files is extremely important. Now there is one more thing I wanted to show you, although um, this thing is okay. I want to check this. Okay, okay, I want to open it in W mode, which means if it's not there, I want it to create it. Fp dot write of, let's just say JSON will have um, key errors. I want to add this, and I want to add a key, some key only I will type. No problem. Here I want to type a value. Okay, okay, fine. Let's remove this. No problem. Why is it showing like this? Okay, fp dot write. Okay, I will not print it. I will remove the print statement. Okay. After removing, I will seek it to 0, then I will read it. Okay, now let me see invalid. Okay, fine. Interesting, it won't allow me. Okay, okay, let me remove this dictionary also. No problem, it's fine. I will just write these two then. Okay, let me remove this also then. Just wanna check if not readable. Hmm. Okay, okay, the point I was trying to demonstrate is, notice something. Up until this point we read only files ending with txt, right? Only txt we used. Now I have opened a JSON file. It did not exist, so I created one. Okay. Um, Fine. Open. Okay, I'll have to open with. Okay, fine. I have the file here. So I up until this point I was working with text files. Now I opened a JSON file. The same methods I can follow, and I can let's just say I wanna show the output here. Why not working? Why is it not working? Slash n value. Okay, fine. So you got value. After you wrote value, it went to seek. Because you have used w plus, it is overwriting. So don't worry about what it is doing. But just understand that not only text files, you can use this with open to open any type of files with an extension. And that extension could be either .pkl, or the extension could be .joblib, or the extension could be .txt, or the extension could be JSON, or .yaml, or .yml. Okay, so like this we have or .toml. Okay, or I'm running out of extensions. Anyway, so you get the idea. So irrespective of the extension that you want to work with, you can utilize this with open method and do the operations. The same thing that we did for text also works for all these files. Is this clear? I believe so. Okay, I believe so. I don't have an image. Okay, let me download a sample image. sample image. Okay, save image as okay, but I will have this image in downloads. Okay, I will copy this. Fine. So for images, what I remember is when we work on OpenCV, right? So in order to open the image, we have a dedicated library. Okay, I remember it using our PIL, and then we have something called OpenCV. Okay, image-based libraries. But I have never tried using with Open, so that's why I'm kind of curious to try. I will not dot jpeg, right? Dot jpeg, or maybe I will write file name. What happened? Okay, fine. Jpeg, and my file is in downloads. When I go to downloads, okay, where is this? Huh. So I will pass this. Okay, here interestingly, let me pass the mode as W only. I only want to read it. Okay. Hmm. So Unicode error. The encoding format is not supported. Okay, that's what. So for images, you can make use of either PIL or OpenCV, and then you have lot of image-based Python libraries that we make use of. See, this is what Pillow. Then we have simple CV. Then you have Moatis. OpenCV is what we used. What we use, yeah, scikit image. These top three that you see are the most used ones. Though you need not go to other ones. These Pillow, scikit image, and OpenCV are the most used libraries. You could you open the image with OpenCV, Pillow, or scikit image. Okay, but yeah, good question. So I had never tried, so that's why I just wanted to try. Yeah, you have the answer now, so you can't use because of encoding problem. And not only that, the way. Mhm, mhm, mhm. Correct, correct. So these are the ones you can use. These ones, scikit image for images. OpenCV will work for video also. Okay, PIL I have used it for mostly for images only, but you can play around with these libraries. Okay, that concludes files and handling files. Any doubts you can ask. I'll end the recording now.